Hey everybody, 13 meteorologist Sean Ash here. Going to give you a little update on the weather impact alert day. I know it's been sunny, that was expected, and depending on your location, these storms may not even get to your area until 8:30 or 9 o'clock, especially in the eastern part of the state. They'll get to the western side of the state earliest, and then the metro area in this 7 to 9 window. They will cross the state in a matter of about 3.5 hours. So that is going to up the ante of swaths of wind damage. And for a lot of areas, that will be the story. It's going to be wind. With all that said, especially south of I-70, but that does not mean if you're north that you can't have a tornado either. But south of I-70, if we were to get some strong tornadoes, that generally might be the location. But I expect before this thing gets out of the state by 10:30, we're probably going to have several tornadoes. In addition to all that, let's just say that we don't have any severe weather, which that's not what we're expecting, but let's just say this storm line moves through. We're going to have lightning issues. So even if you have an outdoor event, lightning is going to cause, at least for a period of time, some delays here. So what we want you to do, make sure you have multiple ways to get alerts. Hopefully you have our free app on your phone. You should be monitoring radar. Our app can help you do that. And be prepared to get indoors, take shelter until these storms move by. And they will be moving quickly. So even if your event is impacted, depending on what that event is, you may be able to go back out before we get toward 10 o'clock. All right? Let's set all the stage for you. We've had a lot of sunshine today. That's going to be counterproductive for later on, but it was part of our forecast. The exception's been far southern Indiana, which has been impacted by low cloud cover, but that's now peeling away, okay? So again, it probably looks in some places feels like one heck of a day, and I won't argue with that. So there was a front yesterday evening that triggered the storms in Illinois, and by the time they made it here, they ran into the cap, and they just didn't have enough forcing. And the leftover front has stalled out and what we call washed out over the central part of the state. And you can see the difference from north to south in dew points. Remember, the higher the number, the better fuel or octane for the storms, if you will. Columbus has a dew point near 70. In Indy, we've actually dropped to 59. Lower dew points limit tornado potential, but it does not necessarily limit severe wind potential. As we expand the map and we look back to the west here, you can see a south wind, but still relatively dry air. We do think there's going to be an influx of moisture before the front gets in. And speaking of that front, you can see it right along the Mississippi River. So compared to yesterday, this front is going to pick up speed as the wind field around this big twist over the northern part of the country starts to whip this thing eastward. You can see tornado watch has been issued for parts of Missouri, parts of Arkansas, and I would imagine in due time that will get expanded east and northeast to encompass a good portion of our viewing area, if not all of our viewing area, as we're expecting a combination of destructive severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings through the evening here. In fact, we'll probably have a lot of them during the time this thing crosses through. All right, so let's get into the severe weather outlook, which hasn't changed a whole lot with the exception that they have expanded the level 3 farther north and northwest. I wouldn't probably get into, don't get focused too much on these lines and specifics here. The red shading just means you have a higher probability of both tornadoes and destructive wind. That's Bloomington, Columbus, Seymour, Bedford, into Kentucky. But we are all, the entire state, any storm on radar this evening could produce severe weather. So there's the level scale. And so let me show you what these each layers represent. The majority of us in a 3 at minimum, numerous severe storms, and then that southern part of the state, strong tornado potential, the high wind might be a little more likely, and the hail potential is higher there as well. So this is, after looking through all the data here, we believe we will end up, unfortunately, with swaths of 60 to possibly 80 plus mile per hour wind. We've had this, unfortunately, already this spring. So, I mean, you get a 75 to 80 mile per hour gust. I mean, that's just like a EF1 low EF, EF0 low EF1 tornado. So, doesn't matter what's doing damage. It's, you know, still doing damage, okay? Coverage is going to be numerous. Some of the cells initially will have some big hail potential with them, especially if we get supercells in advance of these lines. And we got low for tornado, but it's higher the farther south of I-70 you go, okay? But again, doesn't matter what's doing the damage here this evening. There will be damage. All right, so here's our latest version of Future Track 13 with the severe weather outlook on it. We look west. We're jumping to 4 o'clock here, by the way. So we will start to get the storms initiating along that front after a whole day's worth of heating. Unlike yesterday, the storms get in quicker. So yesterday it was closer to 11 o'clock. The atmosphere had a real strong cap and there was not much of a front or forcing. That will not be the case today. These are going to get in quicker and the forcing is going to be much greater, hence everyone getting wet and or stormy. Okay? That's by 6:30, and then metro area going to get very rough between 7 and 8 o'clock. So please, during that time and even before that time, you need to really start to monitor radar. I mentioned some areas it may take a while. Far eastern Indiana, Richmond and Winchester, and Brookville, even Greensburg, may not get to you till 8 o'clock. So you are going to have a good portion of your day, but you need to watch this. And the radar, the modeling in showing what we call bow echoes, and that ups the odds of swaths of damage. So we're expecting that before this thing wraps up and gets out of our state. It'll be out of the state by about 10 p.m. So you can see how quickly it's moving across the state here. But this is a high resolution forecast model, and some of the features it's showing us definitely raise concern and definitely warrants what we have in terms of probabilities of severe weather and these risk levels across the state. So I wish I had some better news, but that's what we're expecting. Now this will be out of our hair by 10 o'clock. Not to say that we couldn't have some thunderstorms after it. The atmosphere would be used up by then, and they would sound a lot worse than what they'll actually be. So that is the window of time. It is subject to change a little bit. And then what to expect afterwards as we look at the 7-day here. So our heat index in spots, depending on how quickly the moisture recovers, we're either going to have a high closer to 90 today or the heat index will be near 90. Either way, it is going to be warm, but a lot of dry time. Then we'll start to see those storms increasing. For the weekend, Saturday is going to be very breezy. At times you're going to have some pretty good blue sky, and at times you may have a low cloud overcast layer. Much cooler, by the way, much, much cooler. Some spots may not hit 70 degrees for a high on Saturday. Sunday will be your brighter and your warmer day, and then as we look ahead to next week, the trends are showing another upper level low pressure system. I know you're getting tired of hearing that, but that's what we're trending toward. And that would bring a lot of clouds in the middle part of the week, cooler temperatures, and bring some of those showers as well. So we'll keep you focused on all that. Stay with us here. We will be on WTHR Plus probably for an extended period of time here this evening. Rob Ellis, Angela Buckman, and myself. And we will keep you updated, keep your family safe. And you stay safe, and thanks for trusting us for your weather information.